Oh, recording in progress. Okay. Wow, Lígia. Hi. I haven't done this in a long time. Recorded on Zoom to nobody to put it online. But I have a Lígia moment. And we will see. This is either something you can do in parts, depending on how you're feeling, like to stretch and cool down after you have a lot of rehearsal. Maybe this will feel good in the middle of the day to like loosen and warm up before a lot of practicing and rehearsal. Or maybe this is actually going to be an hour long. I don't know. And you'll either break it into chunks or you can do it all at once when you want like a fuller experience. I don't know. We're going to try it out. I'm also testing a playlist. I don't know if it's going to be the same one I send you, but I'm pressing play right now if you want to be synced up with me. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you, pause the music. See, it's always a little chaotic. So many things you're toggling between at once. Okay. The things that you need for practice. For practice. This is, okay, I'm so embarrassed. Space to move. We'll do some stuff on all fours. So if you want to grab a little blanket as a cushion, I have one of those. And then you're going to need a belt, or if you have one of these like stretchy exercise bands, these will work too. We're going to do this. Oh my gosh. A belt works, or like a big hoodie. And potentially there is a moment in this where I'll be like, do you want to do a couple sets of rows? So if you have some dumbbells or like cans of soup you want to grab, maybe go get those. I don't know. I might get to that part and be like, never mind, we're not doing it. So how's that for preparation? All right, now I'm gonna go back to the music. I'm starting the playlist over and we're gonna get started laying down on your back. Oh, okay. You can leave your feet on the floor, knees pointing up to support your low back. And take a second to like melt into the ground and feel nice and supported and grounded. But because this is not a full yoga class, I'm not going to spend a ton of time at the beginning doing the whole dropping in. We're going to go straight into the first exercise, which is snow angels. So I want you should have enough room that you can spread your arms out around you. So reach your arms up overhead like a big morning stretch. And then as you exhale, goalpost your arms and drag with your elbows down to your hips. Your hands will probably pop off the ground, and that's okay. You're looking for a big stretch across the front of the chest and shoulders. And then again, so a big, wide snow angel, arms up. And then with a big breath out, nice and slow, drawing the elbows out and down. And let's do 3 more like this. In case this movement isn't clear, it's like, keep doing it, but it's like this. And from the back, it looks like this. And so you're pinching your shoulder blades together behind you as you let your chest be super broad. Gorgeous, good job. All right, next, I'm gonna go through these like a little faster. And if you wanna spend more time, pause or come back or do it on your own. So this whole first part is about bringing some movement to the chest and shoulders and upper back to hopefully help you feel a little looser there. So the next are open books. These are actually a physical therapy thing that Carl and I both got prescribed. So you're still gonna lay down on your back, roll onto one side so your knees are stacked on top of each other. And you can start on either side. So send one arm, your bottom arm out long. Bring your other arm to clap on top of it, lay your head down. And as you inhale, like the pages of a book flipping open, you're gonna send your top arm like a big rainbow up and over, and you reach it as far. So your arms are in like capital letter T, stretching and reaching, your hips mostly stay where they are. And then you just return straight back to center. So again, with a big inhale, open up the book, stretch, you're reaching both arms as wide as you can. And then let your spine relax as much as you can when you're open. And you might notice that this twist feels a little stiff. That is okay. You don't need to force anything. And let's do a total of 5 of these on this side. You can take your time. Purposely tune into your breath. Use your breath to facilitate movement, not just as something running automatically in the background. And when you're all done on this side, you're just gonna flop like a fish onto the other side. How's that? Oh, we're gonna do 5 on the other side. You can move at your own pace. Big open top arm comes. So the, oh my gosh, the other side, you might notice that one side of your back or one of your shoulders is a little more tense and tight. Just always interesting to observe those things. There's nothing wrong, nothing you need to change. It's just observation. These first 2 exercises you can do in bed, actually. I don't know if Frida will allow this much movement, but these can even be done to start to loosen you up even before you're officially out in the world. All right, when you get to your 5th one, we are, oh, now we're doing rainbows. Okay, so you're gonna flop like a fish back to the first side. We're still on our sides. And this time, instead of bringing the arm like in an arc over the center of your body, you're gonna send it in an arc like back behind you like this, which is gonna start to bring some rotation to the shoulder. So you're starting in a similar position where the bottom arm is out long, top arm rests on top, and now draw like a halo above your head. Bring your top arm up and overhead, drawing the biggest halo arc you can until you reach back open. And you might notice that you feel this stretch in just a slightly different place. Maybe I personally feel it a little lower in the back in the twist, and it's a different part of the front shoulder. And then return the way you came to come back. And we're going to do 3 of each like this, just to kind of keep things moving. So your big inhale is what allows you to open up as wide as you can. And a big breath to close back to starting position. Let's do 1 more. All right, I can already tell I'm going to change the playlist I give you because this song has like a lot of bagpipes in a way that I had forgotten, and I'm not sure I'm into it. All right, other side, 3 rainbows this way. It's definitely common to notice that one shoulder has more mobility than others, and we're introducing a pretty wide range of motion here. Like this is a lot. And so if this amount of rotation in the shoulder is too much, you can dial it. You can dial it down, you can dial it back. You don't have to open all the way up. Try to play around and decide what feels right today. Oh, wow. We're doing 3 on this side. All right, when you're done with 3, flop back the length of your mat. We're just gonna do a couple more things on the back and then we will switch positions. All right, so from here, your feet are on the ground, knees are up high, back is resting on the ground. You can bring your hands onto the fronts of your hips. We're gonna do some pelvic tilts. So tip your pelvis forward. This creates a gap between your back and the ground. And then tip your pelvis backwards. So you're scooping. And it's like you're squishing a blueberry under your spine, whole spine flat against the earth. And then just rock like that, inhaling to create a little bit of space. Maybe you wiggle side to side. Notice how that feels on the low back. And then with your breath out, squish a blueberry. Notice the muscles in your core kind of turning on to brace like this. And let's do 5 more rounds. You didn't mention that your lower back was feeling sore at all, but I know that we've both got some hip stuff going on. And so giving the low back a little bit of attention and helping it feel loose but stable can support movement through the hips and the rest of the spine. So, these never hurt. All right, we've got a couple more. And so we're doing like big anterior tilt, big posterior tilt of the pelvis. And so when you finish your next round, I want you to settle in and find what neutral feels like for you. Like where you're not necessarily trying to achieve either tilt, but you're also not just flopping down. And when you found neutral today, bring your palms to rest on the ground, push your feet into the earth, lift your hips, and we'll find bridge pose with a nice neutral spine. Now we're here for a couple breaths, so keep breathing. Push all of both feet into the ground. Notice how that turns on the front of the legs. See if you can activate the backs of your legs here. So maybe think about pushing your heels into the ground and dragging them back towards your shoulders any amount. Nice. And now notice if your rib cage is splayed out because you're really reaching up. Can you use your strong core to tuck your ribs in, knitting them together? Feeling the strength from your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quads, letting the shoulders relax. Now, option to add on a little bit, see how it feels as you inhale, reaching the arms back behind. And now as you exhale, lower your hips and your arms at the same time, super slowly, and we'll do 5 of these bridges. So inhale, pressing through the legs, active through the lower body, open through the front, option to reach the arms. And then exhale all the way down. My glutes are already burning. We're doing 4 more. Wow. Okay, glutes, I understand. You want more attention more often. All right, one of my toxic traits as a teacher is that I lose count all the time. So let's just do one more. Amazing. All right, when you finish your last one, hug your knees into your chest. You're going to give yourself a little hug, a little side to side. See how it feels. Sometimes it feels really good to just roll around on the back. You can even work some tension out that way. And we're going to meet seated. If you're the kind of person who likes how it feels to like roll back and forth like this, can do this a few times. If this is uncomfortable or you feel too stiff or whatever, skip it. But we'll meet seated in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. All right, we're seated. Do a little more hip stuff while we're here. So send your feet out in front of you, nice and wide. Arms behind you, helping to hold you up. Again, we're not like collapse and chilling, like use your core, use your shoulders, keep your chest proud. We're just gonna windshield wipe the legs. This is a like very mild 90-90 sort of shape. Just a nice little back and forth. Notice how it feels when one hip is doing the internal rotation. Notice how it feels to bring that hip into external rotation. Both of these can get really sticky. And then option to add on a little bit here. You might see how it feels to reach in the direction that your knee is coming in. So this little reach brings a little bit of a stretch to the bottom legs glute. It takes the emphasis off the internal rotation. So if that was feeling good, maybe you stay up. But if it feels good on the outer hip and the glutes to add this little bit of a reach and a lean, we're here for, I don't know, a couple more until I decide we're done. All right, I'm very pleased with the rest of the playlist after the bagpipe song. So I just need to replace the bagpipe song. All right, thank you, mild 90-90. Now I want you to grab your belt, your hoodie, your like whatever it is that you're using. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder flossing. So this is another thing that I hope feels good for you. And if this is too much movement for the shoulders, like really don't overdo it. It can be hard for me to tell what's normal because I'm hypermobile. So I'm trying to be conservative with how I cue some of this. But your body might not do what mine does because like my joints are fucked up, respectfully. Okay, so shoulder flossing, you may have done this at the gym before with like a straight pull, but you're gonna hold your belt, your whatever, wider than shoulder width. The wider it is, the less pressure there'll be on your shoulder. So start really wide. Find a little bit of a tug here so you're activating. Lightly hug your shoulder blades together behind you. And as you inhale, you're just gonna send your arms up and back any amount. You might stop overhead if you don't have a ton of mobility in the shoulders today. That's good. You can stop right there, feel that openness across the chest, but you might be able to come all the way open and down. So you can see the shoulders are in big external rotation here, lots of stretching across the front of the chest and the shoulders, and then come back forward. And when you come down, I want you to pull your strap apart and notice that sensation across the tops of the shoulders or kind of the back scapula area. And you can just explore with this for a couple of breaths. Maybe just this front and back movement feels good. Maybe if you're not able to go all the way back today, you stay up here. How does it feel to kind of send things side to side like this? I'm keeping some tension on the strap, which is what brings the stretch into the muscles. Are you breathing? You can do a little like infinity sign stuff if this feels good. Just opening up through the chest and the shoulders and the upper back. Okay, well, this playlist is moving quickly into the songs that are for the more athletic parts class. So I need to add more warm-up songs. I'm so glad you're getting this this play-by-play. All right, throw the strap away. We will not be using it again. All right, we're gonna do some stuff on all fours here. Focus so far in class was a lot on the shoulders, upper back, and chest. This next stuff is going to be more for the spine, but will still support the way your hips and your shoulders feel. So come on to all fours. We're going to do some cat-cow. If it is a lot on the hands to have the wrists down, I sometimes switch to fists. If you also have dumbbells around, it can, if they're the kind that aren't going to roll away on you, you can hold like this, that your wrists still stay straight, but you're not as much flexion in the wrist. So start to find some cat and cow here. And I want you to think about initiating the movement from your pelvis. So the pelvis tucks, and that's what makes the spine round. The pelvis, or your tailbone rather, lifts. Eventually the chin lifts. And I want you to, as you do this, visualize every single vertebrae along your spine, moving one at a time, really thinking about bringing movement to places that might feel a little inflamed or a little stuck from all of the practicing you've been doing. And, you know, I think like freestyle cat-cow is really the way to go. So you can keep going with the front and back cat-cow if that feels good. Maybe you add a little bit of a C curve to the spine by looking over one shoulder, sassing your hips the opposite direction, and then reversing. So glancing towards one foot, kind of sassing the hips to the opposite side. Maybe it feels good to send hips to the same side that you look back. Look back at it. All right. Also, big fan of jump roping the spine. So you're kind of like, you're still like cat-cowing, but you're going in more of like a little spiral. Find whatever just feels like some nice movement, getting your spine to move in a bunch of different directions. And if that organic movement starts to bring more into the hips or into the chest, I think that's beautiful. We're here for like, how about 5 more breaths? Just playing around with organic movement from all fours. 3 more breaths. And last one. All right, come back to all fours. You can grab that blanket for cushion if you need to. We're about halfway through all fours stuff. We're going to do some thread the needle, but with a little bit of a flow, which will kind of add some more core engagement and encourage more movement through the spine rather than staying static. So plant your left hand or fist in the center of your mat, kind of right under your nose. Bring your feet kind of like child's pose legs. So your toes might touch and your knees are a little wider than tabletop legs. As you breathe in, like you're drawing a bow and arrow, reach your right arm up to the sky. Hold for a moment here and stretch both arms as wide and long as you can. And as you exhale, tuck your right arm under this bridge made by the left and reach forward. So nothing is touching the ground yet. No right shoulder, no right arm. And then as you inhale, you're coming all the way back up. We're going to do this 2 more times. So as you exhale, you're tucking and reaching. Feel your core supporting you in this twist. Reach, 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 and then back up. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, hover, hover, hover. And then now you can rest. So rest the right shoulder, rest your head.
You can use your left hand, kind of help encourage a little bit more of a twist here. If you want more shoulder opening, take your top hand up, rotate so your palm faces back behind you, and then tuck the arm around your back, your waist, any amount. Think about sending the top shoulder more back. I don't like that today. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Next time you inhale, we're coming back to starting position. Reach the right arm high, counter twist, and then come back down onto all fours. And we will do this on the other side. So now right hand comes into the center of the mat. As you inhale, peel the left fingertips up high. Hold for a minute, stretch both arms long, look up or down, whatever's better for your neck. Forgot to say this on the front side. Maybe you want to like rotate your arm, rotate your wrist. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck and hover, reaching the left arm through, reaching, and inhale back up high. Exhale, tuck and hover, reaching. And then last time, inhale. And exhale. This damn AirPod is just falling the fuck out of my ear. And rest the left shoulder down. Couple breaths on this side. Find whatever settling position feels good, offering you the stretch or the release you're looking for. Replant the right hand or fist as you inhale, peel the left arm high, resetting. And as you exhale, come all the way back onto all fours. Nice. Okay. We are going to get us off all fours for a second. We'll come back to that one. Okay. This is, I like to call this, actually, wait, no, we'll do this one first. Wow, Abby, way to go. Okay, this is gate pose. So again, you might still want your blanket or cushion because it's a lot for the knee. Okay, so with put your right knee on the mat, send your left leg long. I'm trying to mirror you, but if the image is reversed, this won't work, whatever, doesn't matter. Long leg, you might do toes pointing this way or pointing forward, whatever is more comfy. And then we're gonna do some like kind of stuff, the official word for it, for some more movement in the shoulders and also for some more core activation. So stand here, gather up some strength from your lower body. So the kickstand foot can be toes tucked or toes down. See what feels better. Hug your legs towards each other and draw some energy up through your core. Firm both of your glutes. You feel you're like steady here. And as you inhale, reach your arms up high. And then exhale, bend towards the long legs. You're getting a nice stretch through the whole left side body. And then as you inhale, come back up to center and start to cartwheel your arms down as you exhale so you can reach your left fingertips to the earth and find a nice stretch. And we're going to hang out here for a second, find some movement through the top arm. That feels good. And if you need a little bit of support between your hand and the ground, bring a book or like a yoga block if you have one, but a book is great just to make the earth a little closer. And now we're going to flow between those two movements, keeping your core really tight. So your core is going to stay stable and your arms are going to move like crazy. So as you inhale, using your core, come up and find this side stretch. And then as you exhale with control, cartwheel down to your book or to the floor. And again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. We're going to do two more. This is good hip stability. This is good core. This is great balance. And like you're getting some stretches. So good. Let's do one more. Your best one yet. You got it. So good. Nice. All right. Swoop down. We're just going to switch sides. So your other knee is going to be the standing knee. You might move your book or your block over there. So standing on the other knee, opposite leg is going long. Take a minute to find the setup that feels good here. Toes tucked, untucked, forward, sideways, whatever. All right, strengthen through your legs, brace through your core. Feel steady and solid. Reach your arms up high, inhale. And exhale, reach up and then, over towards your long leg, finding a nice stretch, nice opening. Inhale, center, arms high. And exhale, cartwheel down to your block or to the floor. Pause for a moment here, find some movement through the top arm, maybe some circles of the shoulder, maybe rotation through the arm or the wrist, or both. Now we'll flow 3 times. So connect to your core. Inhale, come up, find your side bend. And exhale, cartwheel back down, keeping your arms long, your core and your glutes tight. Inhale up. Exhale down. So graceful, Lígia. You look amazing. All the way up. This is our last one. Exhale down. Nice job. You're going to come back onto all fours. We've got one more thing standing on the knees like that. This is called baby warrior 2. So we're going to go back to the other side. So it's your opposite knee standing again. And then like you're in warrior 2, set up your right leg, or I'm sorry, your other leg. I don't know what leg you're doing. So toes are pointing directly towards the front of the mat. Your foot might even be slightly angled outward, whatever feels like nice to the hips. And then we're just going to do a nice little, it's going to be a hinge. And then to get back, you're going to drive through the whole foot, not just the heel, not just the toe, the whole foot. But as you just start to do this, we're going to add on in a minute. Notice what it feels like if you only push into the heel, what activates. If you only push into the toe, you push into all surface area of the foot. Notice what muscles feel like they're being activated. And if this is too much, bring your foot closer to you so that the range of motion is a little shorter. And if you think you could handle a little more, maybe you bring the foot further away. Hip needs to pop. These will make you pretty sore, so don't do like a million of them. But now there's an option to add on if you want to add some arm stuff. So bottom arm can go on the hip, can kind of go here to encourage the leg to open, but take basically your top arm and trail it behind you like it's warrior 2. And when you reach the depth of your lunge, send it overhead like a big rainbow. So you're getting, and if you, with your arm here, tighten your standing glute and notice a stretch through the front of the hip. And then back out. Do like 3 more of these. We've been doing a lot. These are one of those sneaky things that can add a lot of strength and definition to the arms. You're not even holding a weight. You could be if you wanted to. But keeping the arm activated and away from your body is hard. All right, we're switching sides. I think we did that for too long. Sorry. I'm supposed to be a professional. All right, same setup here, standing on one knee, finding a little warrior 2 moment with the other leg. People are, some fitness people are like, don't let your knee go over your toes. And in certain movements, that is really important, like when you are carrying a ton of weight, but the body weight, like this close to the ground, unless this feels bad in your knee, this is completely fine. This is a movement body needs to be able to do. So, ooh. All right, driving through the feet, strong, held through the lower body. Option to introduce arms. See how that feels. These are also great to do if you find that your hips, you've been sitting a lot, your hips are just feeling achy. This is a great way this is an active stretch for them. So at least for me, this can release a lot of tension. These plus those windshield wiper things are sometimes, and just like a big quad stretch, Do 2 more. Oh, it's been 30 minutes. Okay. All right, we're at the last part here. Find child's pose. We're gonna do those little side stretches that the old violinist taught us in that one video. So your toes touch, knees are as wide as feels good. Let your fingertips cross forward. Can rest your forehead on the mat or on a blankie. And start by just settling into this child's pose. You might rock your forehead side to side along the ground, bringing a little bit of a massage into the eyebrows. And with every breath, let your hips rest heavier. Let your chest fall closer to the ground. Fingertips grow softer. And a breathing exercise here that might relieve some tension in the upper back is I like to visualize that I have wings, like either angel wings or like really cool insect wings, the kind that attach where your shoulder blades are, obviously. And when you breathe in, the wings like flare out at their full length. And then as you exhale, they gently tuck back in, nestling along the back. So try 3 or 4 breaths like that, really visualizing the expansion of that part of your back, that space that's feeling so painful and tight. And observe if this extra attention and visualization in this space can invite those muscles to relax a little bit. How about 3 more? All right, you can keep this breathing pattern or let it go, but crawl both fingers, both hands, off towards the right side of your mat until you feel a stretch you like along the left side of your body. And for a little more leverage, if you're going towards the right, slide your right hand closer to your right knee so you can press into it and use it as leverage to find a tiny twist and gaze up over the right shoulder any amount. Couple big breaths here, breathing into any spaces you feel tension. And then when you're ready, you're gonna switch sides, crawling all the way to the left, same thing. And when you're ready, come back to center. Find a couple cat and cows, or maybe send the hips side to side, returning to a more neutral feeling. And then stand up on your knees and give yourself a hug because you're done. And I decided, since I was about 30 minutes, that's either the warm-ups for the longer thing, or that is like all one thing you can do before or after rehearsal or practice to hopefully feel like a little less locked up. So let me know how it feels. And I'm going to do one more with the harder stuff.